Hi. So I came here in 2013. I think after taking the accommodation, the most important thing which I was looking at was car. So let's talk about cars. So to buy a car or lease a car, it's $1 million question. मेरे हिसाब से it really depends on what your personal situation is. I can just take my example and just tell you that how I did it. Maybe it will give you some idea. So यहाँ पर कार लेने के दो तीन तरीके हैं. First is you can buy it from the dealer. It's like buying a brand new car. Second is you can buy a pre-owned car from dealers. Third is you can buy a pre-owned certified cars from the dealers. The fourth is you can buy it from a private party. The fifth option is you can lease a car, and maybe the last option, if you want to drive it, then you can rent a car. So let's discuss about each one of them. First is you are buying a brand new car from a dealership. So this is pretty straightforward that you're looking for a brand new car and you are ready to put down money. So either you can buy it on cash or you can finance the car. So I want to quickly talk about the loan or the finance if you want to do without getting too much deep into that. In US अगर आपको loan लेना है तो there is something called a credit score which defines the rate of interest. It's not flat. So credit scores के बारे में कभी बाद में बात करेंगे, but just think about it. It's a score which defines your credit taking ability, like how much trustworthy you are for the banks who can give you the loan. So अगर आप नए हो यहाँ पर, अगर आप अभी आए हो, you will have no credit history. In that case, it is like difficult to get loans first, and if you get it on a very high interest. So second is if you want to buy a car on cash, so you have enough money, you can buy a car directly on cash. The suggestion which I'll give you, do not disclose it directly to the dealers, because आज के टाइम में dealerships are actually earning from the services packages they are going to give. उनका margin इस केस में बहुत कम है. So if you reveal your cards too early in the negotiation process, you actually lose that negotiation chip. So I would say that don't tell them directly कि मैं cash pay करने वाला हूँ. Just ask them that what is the interest rate you are going to give, or if I go with your credit union, how you going to deal with that. So if you're going for a pre-owned car, one of the most important resources which I can tell you is KBB, that's Kitty Blue Book. ऐसे वेबसाइट, यहाँ पर आप अपनी कार का मेक मॉडल, कौन सी ईयर में मैन्युफैक्चर हुई है और कितने माइल है उस पर और क्या फीचर है उसके, अगर आप वो सब इंफॉर्मेशन दोगे उसको तो इट विल गिव यू अ मोस्ट प्रोबेबल वैल्यू, अ फेयर प्राइस, अ गुड प्राइस, अ डिसेंट प्राइस or a very good price for the car, the price which is acceptable by everyone. So car is something which is like a personal property which you would use when you need it. If you want to go from point A to point B, you want to make sure that your car will take you along. So if you are going from the private party, जैसा कि मैंने बताया था, the first time when I got it, it was like a risk we took, that we were not aware that how the car is going to behave just after like having a test drive, or you can go to a mechanic and get your cars tested. That's an option you have, but that costs money. Every time you go to the mechanic, it will cost you $50 at least. So either you need to negotiate it with the seller that you split the money 50-50, or sometimes if the seller is too confident and he has other buyers in line, he refuse to volunteer for that money. So think about it. If you are looking for 10 cars, 10 pre-owned cars, which you normally do, not 10, maybe 5 or 6 at least you do. Every time if you're like spending $50, it comes out to $50 for 5 cars. That's not a peace of mind. That's one of the flip side of having a pre-owned car from a private party, but that's the most economical thing. And the other thing which you should look is something called Carfax. It's a paid service through which you can actually get the history of a car. So normally जब भी आप कार खरीदते हैं, especially a pre-owned car, either from the dealership or from the private party. Normally, it's seller's responsibility to get you a Carfax, so do get that report because it gives you the clear picture that when the car was first bought and what's the vehicle history. Does it include any uh, major faults, like major service faults? Is there anything major happened to the car, or how many times it was sold, how many different owners it has? So a Carfax report is a consolidated history report of a vehicle, which gives you a very good handle to understand that what your car has been through or what the car value is. So let me walk you through some numbers. I think that will help you to understand which way you should go. Again, I'm saying it really depends on what your personal preference is, but purely on the financial terms, let's see. So let's quickly go through the two options which we have. The difference between two options: one is buying a car, and other is leasing. I am taking the cost of the car as $40,000. So let's go with the leasing option first. So in leasing, as I said, that you are not going to be the owner of the car and you will be paying some amount on a monthly basis. So for initial down payment, so let's say the initial payment you do of $3,500, and the monthly payment is going to be $400. The term is uh, 3 years, that is 36 months, and you are allowed to have 10,000 miles per year. So you can have 30,000 miles for 3 years. Beyond 30,000 miles, you're going to pay like 20 cents or 25 cents per mile. It really depends on the dealership. So one more thing I would like to tell, that this $400 is a dealership price. Please include the tax on top of it. So here, on simple calculation, I'm having 10% tax on top of 400. So it's going to be $440 into 36 months. For 3 years, that comes around $15,840. So $15,840 we'll be paying for 36 months plus $3,500 which we have paid earlier, $19,340 which we'll be paying after 3 years. So this is a 3 years cost. So at this point, you can decide that if you want to keep the car or you want to return the car. If you want to keep the car, before signing the lease, you also get to know that what is going to be the buyback price. Buyback price is the residual price which left like between after spending like $19,340. Here the buyback price is, buyback cost is $26,000. So if you see, if you plan to purchase the vehicle, so you will be spending 26,000 plus 19,340 which you have paid earlier. So it comes around 45,340. But I would like to tell you one more thing. So when you'll be paying $26,000, you will be paying 10% of sales tax on top of it. So it will be 2,600 plus. So 2,600 here. So comes. So this is the least amount you will be paying if you want to keep the car. And if you, at this point in time, when your lease ends, if you want to return the vehicle, normally there is a return fees which is associated. It varies between $300 to $500. So the cost is going to be $19,840. So this cost you will be paying at the end of 3 years when you plan to return the vehicle. Okay, let's talk about the buying option very quickly. The initial payment as $3,500. I'm going to add 10% of sales tax here, so which makes a vehicle of $44,000. So for $44,000, you will have paid $3,500 initially. So assume that you are you're taking loan for rest of the amount. So loan amount is going to be $39,500, and taking the interest rate of 2.5%, and the duration of the loan is 5 years. So if you keep this, the total interest which you are going to pay will be $2,561. So this is the interest amount which you will pay on $39,500 for 5 years, which makes your cost as $44,000 plus $2,561. So So this is the cost you're going to pay if you want to purchase a vehicle after 5 years. So you can see a conspicuous difference between the cost. The cost of leasing a vehicle is always more, but the only benefit of this is after 3 years, you have an option to return the vehicle and get to the new one. But think about it, like after 3 years, the maximum depreciation of this car, like if you go by the normal circumstances or if you go by the normal logic, each year the car costs decrease by 10%. In 3 years, the cost of the car will be decreased by 30%, which makes this cars like 12,000 cheaper. And here you have already paid $19,840 without having car in your head. So that's the difference. So it really depends on like what's your option. But from simple mathematics perspective, we have seen that the buying is a cheaper option than leasing a car. एक important tip अगर आप कार ओनर हो, if you want to sell your vehicle, आप अपनी कार की सर्विसिंग लाइक रेगुलर टाइम पे कराओ, that's no brainer, but keep your service records handy. I think that's very important. आजकल वैसे most of the records are electronically present, but कई बार हम बाहर से सर्विसिंग कराते हैं, उनके रिकॉर्ड्स कंपनी के पास नहीं जाता है. तो उस केस में अगर आप अपने पास रिकॉर्ड रखते हो तो while selling your vehicle, this is one of the most important point, or which comes very handy, that it builds the confidence to the next buyer, that the original owner has taken care of the vehicle well, because you have the service records to prove them. So a fun fact, you can rent a car with your Indian driving license.